Hello, it's Darren from Grills Plants here in Cornwall in the UK. This is a video about growing parsnips. So these are parsnip seedlings. As you can see, they are growing in toilet rolls. So let me explain how we start. So apparently parsnips are not easy to grow. This is how I found the best way to grow parsnips. So I would sow them mid to late February here in Cornwall in the UK. 24 hours before I sow them, I soak those seeds in tepid water in a jam jar in a windowsill. And then 24 hours later, what I do is I strain them off with a sieve, and then I plant 2 seeds per toilet roll. So I've filled them with compost, and let's just take this one here. So as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, let's have a look there. Look, there's 2 seedlings in there, look. So they've germinated well. So they've gone into the greenhouse. I've put a little lid on the top, and they've been on the top shelf of the greenhouse. As soon as you've got 2 seeds up, germinated with 2 baby leaves, then I'm going to reduce the heat, which is take the lid off and put them on a lower shelf. They're now on the lowest shelf possible in my greenhouse. They're very much a slow grower. So why do we sow 2 seeds? We sow 2 seeds because then we can actually prick out once they've got good adult leaves, which is the strongest one. We'll keep the strongest one, and with tweezers or use your little fingertips, just pull out or cut off the other seedling. So this way you're going to get predominantly parsnips, which are all going to be really good growers. So why do we grow them in toilet rolls? So they're in like a seed tray, look, and I just cram the seed tray full of toilet rolls. And it's important that you don't overwater these, because obviously the toilet rolls are sort of, very thin cardboard. So why we sow them in toilet rolls? It's because we can get them growing earlier. Mid to late February I can sow these. They're a very slow growing thing, so you think about it, if I sowed them mid-February, we probably won't be picking these till probably late October, so they take a long time, but they are worth it. Homegrown parsnips, you can't beat it. So we normally grow a variety called Gladiator, and we suggest Gladiator is quite a good variety, especially for us here in Cornwall, because we're on clay soil, and obviously this is a root vegetable, and we find it quite successful growing the Gladiator. So obviously with the toilet rolls, why do we sow? I keep going back to the same question here, but we grow them in toilet rolls. So when we have snipped one out and left one little seedling, and we've got a good amount of adult leaves, we want at least 4 to 6 adult leaves before I actually harden them off outside, put them out during the day at the greenhouse, bring them in at night for a few days, and then leave them out completely on a shelf outside. And then once you've got 4 to 6 adult leaves, I'm ready to basically plant this into the ground. What you don't want is you don't want the roots coming out through the bottom. So it's a very fine line to know, lift one out occasionally if you can, and see where the roots are at. If they're coming out through the bottom, then they need to be planted. So they don't like being transferred, and this is the problem with parsnips. They don't like being transferred. So if you grew this as a seedling and then you took it out of a cell tray or took it out of a seed tray and then tried repotting it, it's not going to be that successful. It's going to be more successful if you don't interfere or damage the roots on the parsnip. And that's the reason. So we're going to plant it toilet roll and all, making sure obviously all the leaves are above ground. So we're now the 8th of April. So I think really within maybe 2 to 4 weeks, these will be probably ready to plant out in the ground. Now with the ground, they like a nice loose ground. because they're a root vegetable. So we've tried two ways. We've basically dug almost like a hole, a tunnel, and then planted it in and then backfilled with compost. We've tried doing that to see if there's any benefit to that. What we found is that there was too much nutrients in the compost and the parsnips went off sideways and grew sideways because of the too much nutrients, because they don't really like a lot of nutrients. I never feed them or anything. So the best way I found is basically just double dig over the area, knock all the lumps out, getting rid of any stones before you sow them or plant them into the ground. And that's the best way I've found. Yeah, okay, we're on heavy clay soil. We're never going to get that many straight parsnips. So what? It's a case of if the parsnip comes up and it's got two legs, that's fine. It's still edible, it's still workable. We basically skin it and we'd still, cook and eat the two forked legs. So the parsnips we've found as well, that, we've got quite a few parsnips here. I haven't counted them, but there's over 30 parsnips. And 30 parsnips for just me and my wife is quite a lot. So we tend to get to a certain point in the season when we get to maybe late December, when we'll just basically dig the rest up, skin them, cut them into sections, and then just steam them just for a quick blanch in the steamer, just for a couple minutes, and then let them cool down, put them in a freezer bag. In they go to the freezer, and they're there in portions ready for when we want them. They come out the freezer pretty much the taste of when they went in, so don't worry about freezing them, because you know what some vegetables are like runner beans. You freeze them, they come out, they're sloppy. Not with parsnips, they taste pretty much the same as when they went into the freezer. So if you are on heavy clay soil and you think, parsnips are not going to work for me because they're a root vegetable and they like nice loose soil, then I can prove you wrong. I have success with parsnips every single year, and like I said, a good one to grow on clay soil is one called Gladiator. So hopefully, if you are looking to venture into growing parsnips, this has been helpful. Please like and comment. If you want to know anything, comment for sure. I'll do my best to answer you, but like and follow the page, subscribe, that'd be great.